welcome to Rochester High School, home of the Rochester Zebras, as they host the Southwood Knights here in a boys basketball contest. Currently, we have the JV game in progress here with about 1 minute to go in the fourth period. We'll just carry this here, and as we wait for the varsity to begin, we'll have WROI call that. I do want to thank you for tuning in and watching RTC TV4.
Hear me? Good.
Southwood foul number 10, Holloway, his fourth. At the line shooting the double bonus, Stasiak. Returning to the Southwood line at number 30, Lopez. Your final, Rochester 50, Southwood 44.
That's going to wrap up the JV portion of the game tonight. Please stay tuned as we'll have Dave Musselman and Brad Thomas's pregame show here with WROI.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors.
Brocky Insurance offers personalized coverage options for all of your insurance needs. You can trust your policy through Erie Insurance has been customized specifically for you, your assets, and your budget. Online at BrockyInsurance.com. Stay connected with the fastest internet speeds available with RTC fiber communications, voice, data, and video connectivity for the 21st century. Local service, local support, local investment. Online at RTC1.com.
Please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production. Please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production.
I think it falls in a good place. I think Rochester's, they're ready to play. They're anxious. They've had some rest now after those 2 wins. And so,
you talk about routine.
Yeah.
It's a routine from here on out. Tuesday, Friday, Tuesday, Friday, Tuesday, Friday, sectional.
Yep, which is good because that's just the way the sectional will be too, Tuesday, Friday. So you got the entire month to get into that sectional routine and, good competition to work up for the sectionals.
JV game tonight went to Rochester over Southwood 50-40. Here's one thing that we mentioned during that JV game. We weren't really watching the scoreboard per se, but it felt like the lead was bigger than what the actual scoreboard said. That's because Southwood would just never go away.
Well, you felt like, Rochester would get a couple breaks, they'd get a couple buckets, and you thought everything's going really well for Rochester. We ought to be up big, and you look at the scoreboard, and it's a 7-point game.
Yeah.
And so, like you said, Southwood did just enough to keep the game close and interesting, but, Rochester managed to come through at the end and pull out of there with the 6-point win.
Southwood comes into the record of 6-9, but coming off a huge win on Saturday against the number 1 team in the state in 3A where they beat them 57-56.
And tonight is going to be one of those games for Southwood that I think helps determine the rest of their season. That undoubtedly is the biggest win of the season for them to knock off Northwood, and the rest of the year. How are they going to respond coming off of that win, and where are they going to go with it? I mean, you're 5-9 and you get a great big win. What happens next?
Yeah.
Do you continue to build on it, or do you backslide?
One thing about this year's Southwood team, we don't see a Nose, we don't see a Blair, we don't see a Trexler. Hallelujah for Rochester fans. That means talk to Coach Malcolm, and we'll get to him here shortly. But, last year we saw this team play, and they are really good. Look, they're runners-up in Class 1A. Yeah. They're wearing the red rings for a reason. They were really, really good last year, anything inside the 10-second line for those kids last year, it was going up.
Yeah, you're right. They were an offensive powerhouse last year, and this year's team still has a few weapons, but they're still growing as well and still learning their spot.
We got to contain Dallas Holmes tonight.
Yeah.
You know, if we let him go, he can go for 40.
Yeah, you're right. That's part of the offensive weaponry that they have coming back from last year. And like I said, he's got to bring the rest of the team along with him and bring them up to the same level.
You know, we've been doing this a long time, and we ran into a lot of opposing coaches that we think a lot of, and tonight's one of those games. You talk about John Burris, and he's right up there in one of my top 3 or 4 opposing coaches that we deal with on a yearly basis.
Yeah, you know, as shocked as you might have been to hear that a 5-9 Southwood team knocked off Northwestern, you kind of shake your head and say, well, that's John Burris.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care how many points Dallas Holmes had or what anybody else on the team did or how they played as a team. You get a win like that, you nod your head to John Burris.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We had a chance to talk to Rochester Zebra head coach Rob Malco. That'll be next. You're listening to the Rochester Iron and Metal pregame show on 92.1 WROI and RTC TV4.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors. The lawyers
Rocky Insurance offers personalized coverage options for all of your insurance needs. You can trust your policy through Erie Insurance has been customized specifically for you, your assets, and your budget. Online at brockyinsurance.com. Stay connected with the fastest internet speeds available with RTC Fiber Communications. Voice, data, and video connectivity for the 21st century. Local service, local support, local investment. Online at rtc1.com.
Please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production. Please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production.
Ever wonder why your local TV bill keeps going up? The bulk of these increases are due to rising network fees. A few powerful media companies dictate what TV providers must pay to offer their channels to you. And every time networks demand more money, that affects what you pay every month. If TV providers don't meet their demands, networks threaten blackouts. Since 1999, these network fees have increased by 3.5 times the rate of inflation. To see what we're doing to keep network fees in check, visit tvonmyside.com.
Kind of dealing with some of that, a lot of first-year players as well, getting major minutes and the up and down part of the season. You know, it's like I put on the board for us tonight, who are we? And we need to figure out here in the next 3 weeks, you know, how we're going to finish, because if we score one more point against Valley in regulation, we win that game. You're a fingernail away from a deflection on the last shot at Manchester that makes us 9-6 and 4-1 in the conference, and instead we're sitting at 7-8 and 2-3 in the conference. And you know, at that, I guess what I'm saying, if we were 9-6 and 4-1, we'd be talking about, hey, if we're going to win tonight, we're going to Wabash to play for all the marbles in the conference, and then we got to close out the last 2 conference games. And you know, you got that momentum, you got that swagger, you got that confidence. And then I'm still trying to make sure that I don't overemphasize that, because we're talking 1 point and a fingernail deflection away, and we got to remember that we were that close to being what I would consider having a good record and being able to take pride in what that represents. Instead, we've been on an uphill climb. You know, we got to 7-8 about 10 days ago with the Northfield North White game, and that's something that, you know, at Northfield with 4 minutes to go, I'm pacing the sideline going, dang, we're going to leave the weekend, we might have 5 wins. And then I give the guys a lot of credit for digging down and finding a way to get one on the road. Yeah. And then to come back the next night on a back-to-backer. They didn't play Friday night, you know, so they were fresh, and we had to compete and fight and pulled off a 10-point win here at home. So there are a lot of good things I'm seeing from our guys, and we're so close in a couple games to separating. And so that's why I don't know for yet, you know, who are we? You know, are we going to be that team that people truly fear come sectional time because we're putting it together and we should be feared? Or are we going to be a team that, you know, is looking forward to the next season? And that's what we got to find out.
Rob, I hear everything that you're saying, and I get all of that.
You won your last two. Like you say, you were really close the two before that. So you really could be on a 4-game winning streak at this point. Where are the kids' head at this point?
You know, really good. I mean, they're practicing their tails off. You know, they're taking everything in, and I have absolutely nothing but great respect and appreciation for how they're playing. You know, the effort. If you saw us play against North White, and you know, on a Saturday night, man, we came out and we had the guns a-blazing, and they were bringing the energy and the fight. So our practices have been intense. They have been what they have been all season long, from practice 1, and last night was practice 61. Yeah. Just learning and getting after each other and bringing the energy, diving on the floor for loose balls and learning from our mistakes. So I don't see any difference in how the kids are approaching the game as what we did back in November, and that's a credit to them again, and the fact that I think they understand we are right there. Yeah. And I look at this Friday as being a huge game, not trying to take anything away from tonight, from the standpoint of they will be the last sectional team we'll play that gives us a real feel, do we have a legitimate crack at this baby? And based on all the teams we played up till Friday night, the answer is yes. Yeah. But Friday night could be a different animal. They're 12-4. They're playing really well. But I think we have a tendency defensively to make teams take a deep breath and kind of go, okay, this is different. They're physical. They're getting out on our shooters. They're making it difficult and making us slow down. And I'm hoping that we can do that on Friday. But getting, you know, not trying to get too far ahead of ourselves. Tonight is I think a game that sets up well for that, because the Holmes kid is a 1,000-point scorer from them. He is about 6'5". He's just a good player where he will shoot the three and he'll go down low and bang with you. He's just a complete player. And then number 3 for them, I can't think what his name is. Lloyd. You know, as far as taking the three, when we play our different zones, as you've seen, whether we play a 1-3-1 that we stretch out to half court, or we pull back into our 2-3 that we kind of use a matchup out of, or our 3-2, we got to know where those guys are. And the guys are starting to really close out well and understand how to communicate and make it tough on guys like that. And then number 14 for them, their sophomore, he really penetrates well, and he's a good athlete. So I think tonight for us is an opportunity to see if, you know, like I said, who are we? Mm-hmm. Are we going to be dangerous? Mm-hmm. Or, again, are we going to finish out this season as best we can and look forward to next season? And I hope we find out and we can walk away, win or lose, from tonight with a feeling that we're dangerous, and that's what I'm proposing to the guys, to see who we are.
It seems like the last 7 years they've had a Blair and a Nose and that would step inside the 10-second line, Rob, and just have free reign. Just chuck it from beyond the volleyball line. Will we see that tonight?
No, thank God. But, you know, the thing that I'm watching, and the thing, you know, I'm calling it the Steph Curry effect. More and more players, you look at their form, and you're like, that ain't going to fly. But when you're shooting from beyond the volleyball line, you can shoot from your hip, you know, and these kids come, they got the green light. You know, I think about North White, I think about Pioneer, and the kind of kids the coaches are getting there, you know, they're not real strong. They got what I would say, you look at them and you think you should cut the string off of their shirt, but it's their arm. And yet they know how to play, and they fling it, and they fling it with no conscience. And, you know, that's something that we're seeing the game really change. The three-point line, where for 20 years was a weapon, has now become a necessity. It's almost a point where if you can't knock down the three, you can't win. Yeah. And that's something that the first 20, 25 years, hey, if you had some three-point shooters, that was awesome. But it wasn't who you were. Now, you got teams whose identity is attached to that line, right, and it's stretching the defenses, and it's changing the way we go about our business. And like you said about last year's team with Southwood, they had a couple guys who did that, and they were tough to guard. And as a matter of fact, they had about 4 guys that could shoot the three. Yeah. So you had to play them man-to-man, and then they blow by you.
Yeah,
You know, so you were just in a bad place with Southwood the last few years.
And then John Burris is going to the Jim Boeheim School of Defense, and they run a 2-3, and they'll extend that out to the volleyball net, and maybe even half court.
Yeah, and he's been that way since he was at North Miami. They've always, as a matter of fact, they used to extend it even further beyond the three-point line, or I'm sorry, the half-court line. And they've condensed it here in the last decade, even going back to the first time I coached a little bit, and I think it made it more effective because they have less ground to cover, yet they're still out there. They're still out there putting pressure on you from that volleyball line beyond. And really, you got to have good ball handlers. You have to have good decision makers, and you got to have guys who are attacking. You can't think. And I put on the board, don't study, attack. Because if you look at it like, okay, where am I going? Bam, you're trapped.
Yep.
And so those are the things we emphasized, going back last Friday, Saturday when we watched film and then went on the floor, and then yesterday. And hopefully we adhere to that tonight.
Rob, talk to me about your conversations you've had with Brady Perez. Obviously, everybody knows a three-point line is 19 feet 9 inches. When Brady rises up from the baseline, and he's really good, he lands with his heels on the three-point line. A couple inches back is a three-pointer, but maybe 3 feet in, a 15-footer, that's the same shot as the 19-9. So is there a conversation there, or did you just say, young man, just go shoot?
One of the things that I'm kind of watching and listening, like I talked about philosophy. I was always of the opinion that you catch and shoot, and if you're looking for the line, it might take you out of rhythm.
Okay.
And I'd rather get 2 than nothing.
Okay.
Yet, as the game is changing, it's something that we may need to address differently moving forward. And we do in our drill work for our guys who I consider to be three-point shooters, we do make sure that we want them to be 2 steps beyond so that when they're stepping into a pass, they're behind the line and can make those shots. I don't consider Brady a three-point shooter, and that's the thing with looking at Brady. Brady can shoot from the perimeter, but he's so good at getting to the rim. He gets 3 points a couple times a game if he's attacking the old-fashioned way. So, it's one of those things where I look at Nick Allen, he's a three-point shooter. I want him catching and shooting. With Calvary, we're working on, if he doesn't get into a hurry, if he'll catch, just if he's wide open, just take his time and stroke it. He's a pretty good shooter from behind the line. Trey Stasiak starting to show flashes of knocking down that shot as well. But I feel with Brady coming in last season, I felt like the previous seasons there was a little love affair with the line, the three-point line, and when you're shooting in 28%, that wasn't boding well.
Yeah.
So I put a lot of emphasis on last season, whether it was Jordan or Utter and Brady early on, especially Brady, go to the rack, go to the basket, attack. As the season last year even played out, Utter got to be such a good three-point shooter that we let him stay out there. Excuse me. And Jordan kind of had a mix, and Brady just kept attacking.
Yeah.
So I think that's the way Brady started this season. And I think sometimes when you play football and you play baseball all summer, it's hard. If you watch Brady this year, and I know last year it was about Christmas, you started to see him really get confidence.
Yeah.
And so that's a hard balance, how to help a kid have confidence and make shots without making the degree of difficulty any harder than you can. So that's kind of explains that.
Rob, you talked about searching for an identity. Who are we? And with the bench lengthening on the JV bench, might we see some of those kids get less JV time because we're in that sectional kind of stretch and come up and play varsity?
Well, I think you're seeing that a little bit as you look at Elijah Yarber.
Yeah.
He played a full quarter against Northfield and really was a spark in the fourth quarter that kind of got us going when we were down 4 with about 4 minutes to go. I had Quinn Stasiak and Grant McCarter in there at one point in the third quarter, just seeing if they could make some plays and stretch the defense. And there's a balance because sometimes the game is still a little too fast. But I've been watching. I really think Quinn is on the verge of breaking through, and maybe, the quarter that we have him for, sometimes Sean will have 2 quarters, depending on how the JV game goes, getting him out there for 6-8 minutes. And really, getting some time. And I don't want to call it experience because, like I told the guys, it's February. And in February, as far as I'm concerned, the juniors or seniors, The seniors are hanging around for the extra month, but they've graduated, and those sophomores are juniors.
Sure.
And even though, as we watch boys become men, when we see Quinn and Grant next fall, next winter, they're going to change so much physically. But yet the experience piece is about as far as it's going to get until next November, beyond what you do in the summer workouts. Right. So I know that Grant's a good spot-up shooter, and I think that Quinn is really showing an ability to just make plays, whether he's attacking the rim or knocking down shots.
Okay. Rob, what do you got to do tonight to win?
Well, like we talked, we got to handle that 2-3, that extended 2-3, and we have to attack it. We can't hold on to the ball. And like I talked to the guys yesterday, sometimes you'll see a guy, we'll have a guy flip from black to white, and usually Coach Kelly's group's got one side, and we're working an offense or defense against it. And I'll flip a couple of my guys over and bring like Quinn and Grant over to give them some reps with the varsity, and those guys are just killing it. I mean, knocking down shots, slicing and dicing. I'm blowing the whistle going, whoa, 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 where is this when you're on our side? And they look, and at one point, about a week ago, Nick just made a comment, Coach, we got nothing to lose here. And that's probably the biggest thing that we're trying to help instill in them. You got nothing to lose now either with us. Going back in November and December as coaches, we're grinding and we're pushing and we're making it tough, and we're really on them for certain passes they make or dribbles or whatever. But now they're not hearing it. And I told them, I remind them, said, how many times, when's the last time you heard me say make the bounce pass? And they're like, not for a while. I said, because you're doing it. You're in the season, you're doing it. I said, so you got to kind of let go like you do when you're playing on the JV group, and go make plays. Just make plays. And that's hard sometimes, I think, for a teenager, because I think they're looking out the corner of their eye wondering, okay, am I going to get ripped? Am I going to get taken out? Yeah. And that balance as a coach of making sure we're being respectful to the game and discipline with being able to kind of be free is a tough balance to find. And I always go back to this, it's really confidence. If you believe in what you're doing, you can do that. Sure. You can have the discipline and the freedom to play. Right. And so that comes from the kid a little bit, and it comes from me hopefully helping him realize that.
Okay. Rob, your 5 starters.
We're going to go tonight with what we've had the last couple of games. We got Kyle and Brady at forward, Alex at center, and Nick and Calvary at guard.
Okay. Rob, thanks for your time. Good luck. We'll talk to you after the game.
All right, thank you.
Zebra head coach Rob Malco here on the pregame show. That's going to wrap it up from Rochester High School, brought to you tonight by Rochester Iron and Metal. The starters and the tip from Rochester next, 92.1 WROI and RTC TV4.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors.
Rocky Insurance offers personalized coverage options for all of your insurance needs. You can trust your policy through Erie Insurance has been customized specifically for you, your assets, and your budget. Online at brockyinsurance.com. Stay connected with the fastest internet speeds available with RTC Fiber Communications. Voice, data, and video connectivity for the 21st century. Local service, local support, local investment.
Gentlemen, kindly remove your caps for the playing of the Star-Spangled Banner.
Welcome back to Rochester High School. Time now for the starting lineups. First for the 6'9" Southwood Knights, a one guard will be a 5'9" junior, Gabe Lloyd. The other guard will be a 5'9" sophomore, Carson Rich. At 1 forward, a 6'5" senior, Dallas Holmes. Another forward will be a 6'1" junior, Jackson Simons. And the third forward tonight for Southwood will be 6'4" junior, Braden Barney, Southwood coach from Mr. John Burris. For the Rochester Zebras, they have a record of 7-8 overall. One guard will be a 5'9" junior, Nick Allen. The other guard, a 6' junior, Calvary Lingenfelder. At 1 forward, a 6'4" sophomore, Kyle Reinhardt. The other forward, a 6'5" senior, Brady Perez. And the center tonight for the Zebras will be a 6'7" senior, Alex Onnefield, Rochester coach by Mr. Rob Malco. You know, you talk about Brady Perez, and we talked about him a little bit in the pregame show. In the Northfield game and the North White game specifically, he was really, really good, Brad, from the baseline and about 18 to 19 feet out.
Okay, yeah.
He's going to have to do that again tonight.
I agree. I mean, he's been playing out at, top of the key most of the season. He's got such a quick step, and, his vertical leap is unquestioned. So if they can get him into the paint and up to the basket, that's great. But, we've seen him take that 10 to 15-foot jump shot all season long.
One thing we got to do, we said in the pregame, we got to figure out where Holmes is, and we've got to somehow figure out how to beat that 2-3 zone that John Burris has been coaching for years.
Yeah, and again, that's where, Rochester could utilize some of their size, get those guys down low on the block, and see if they can't get Perez or Jackson or anybody else, slip them in behind the defense. Reinhardt and Onnefield do a great job on the boards. They're going to have to be really, really active again tonight.
Well, you know as well as I do, it is really tough to get in the middle of that.
It is.
So now what are you thinking? You're thinking maybe the outside opens up to 2-3, or does the inside open up the outside tonight?
Yeah, well, you kind of got to figure Holmes is going to have to take Onnefield just because of their size. If that's the case, if Onnefield can tie up Holmes, that's going to leave Reinhardt and Perez a lot of room to do some work if they will do the work.
I've really been impressed with Kyle Reinhardt this year. He is so active down low, and what really makes him good, he's been blessed by being a left-hander.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes it difficult for people to body him up. He's got the ability to, he's, again, another person with a quick first step. He can get around you and get to the basket. He's got long arms, and he can really make things happen down low.
Again, the JV game tonight went to Rochester over Southwood, 50-44. Quinn Stasiak had 16 for the Zebras, and Blake Hughes added 10 in that contest that, again, we were just talking about. Their 2-3 zone really confused Rochester in the beginning of that game. The JV kids figured it out. I expect the varsity will too. But Southwood would never go away, and I expect the same effort and the same thing out of the varsity.
Oh, absolutely. And anything Rochester can do to get something started from the outside is great. But, from the days of old when you always worked for the best shot percentages that you can get, that three-point shot range is, 50% is about as good as you're going to do at any given night.
So it'll be Barney and Perez to jump center. Southwood on the road blacks, the Rochester Zebras in their home whites. Brad Thomas, I'm David Musselman. Believe it or not, regular season coming to an end. Next Sunday is the draw, the 17th, and the tip controlled by the Zebras. Southwood in the 2-3 zone, extended to the volleyball line. Allen high on the right side, over the top to Lingenfelder. Baseline to Reinhardt, out to Allen. Fakes a three in the right wing. Southwood close it up quickly. Now to Lingenfelder down low to Reinhardt. Leaner off the glass is no good. Onnefield with the rebound. His put back on the way is no good. And the rebound of Southwood. Actually, we're going to have a foul down low. Is that going to be whistled against the Knights? It looks like it's going to be.
Yep, Simon's going to pick up that foul. Team first on Southwood. And that's exactly what Rochester needs to do. Quick ball movement and getting the ball up.
Speaking of 18 points from the baseline, Brady Perez almost on cue. Rochester up 2-0, 30 seconds into the ball game.
Each possession is going to be key because the possessions may be long. You're going to have to make the most of them when you get them.
Rochester in a 2-3 as well. Lloyd over the top, almost has a stolen, and Reinhardt picks up the foul. So 14 is Dave Rich's son. Dave Rich and John Burris went to high school together.
Okay.
Dave Rich was a state trooper that was killed in action on the highway in Wabash County.
Oh.
And if you go to Wabash on 24, you'll see a memorial for him on the right side of the road if you're going east. So that's his son, starting port guard for tonight for the Southwood Knights. Is that shot no good? Barney grabs the rebound, kicks it outside to Rich at the free throw line, rises up with the defense and puts it down, and we're tied at 2. 6:57 to play in the first quarter. We're tied at 2 here at Rochester. Zebras of the basketball going to our left. Allen to Lingenfelder across the timeline to Perez. Brady holds above his head. Pass to Reinhardt's. Skip pass to Allen. 3 left baseline for the Zebras is good, and it's 5-2.
Rochester's off to a good start.
6:37 to play first quarter. Rich through the center circle, works against the 2-3 zone. Lloyd high on the left side. Now back to Rich, now near side to Holmes. Holmes, long 3 in front of the Rochester bench, off the mark, no good. Barney grabs the rebound, but it's knocked out of bounds by the Zebras. Oh, no. They're going to say last touch by Southwood. It'll go back to Rochester. Brad Thomas, I'm David Musselman. 6:26 to play in the first quarter. Rochester up 5-2. Allen to Reinhardt's, back to Allen, and they break the press, and now stolen by Southwood. Rich pushes for the Knights. Between the rings, high on the left side of Lloyd. Long 3 for the Knights, no good, and the rebound comes down to Reinhardt's. Kyle clears to Lingenfelder. Cavalry brings it up. Southwood sets up a full court press on the miss. That's special. Allen across the timeline left. Now at the left elbow. Baseline to Onafield. His 5-footer's good. 7-2. Rochester under 6 to play in the first quarter. Rich to the center circle. Now to Holmes in the right wing. Back to Rich. Swings left side to Lloyd. Lloyd behind the arc. Baseline to Simons. Back to Lloyd on the left wing. Right wing now to Holmes. Holmes against the double team right in front of the Rochester bench. Baseline to Barney. Back to Holmes in the right wing. 3 over Allen on the way is off the back of the rim. No good. Reinhardt's grabs another board. Outlets again to Lingenfelder. Ahead to Allen. Allen, jump stop. No look pass to Onafield. He's fouled on the shot. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. Maybe got away with a walk, too, there.
The foul's going to be on Barney, his first, team second.
5:28 to play in the first quarter. Rochester up 7-2. Alex Onafield at the line to shoot 2 for the Zebras. The 6'7 senior eyes the first one. Lets it fly, and it's short. One more coming for Onafield. Our next broadcast will be Friday, as the Zebras will go to Wabash to play a really good Apache team.
Yeah.
Second and 4 Onafield.
Wabash is in action tonight at Tippecanoe Valley.
That's good. 8-2 Rochester. Yeah, it'll be interesting to get some updates from that.
Yeah.
Val just sent me a text. Oregon Davis girls are playing in their sectional championship tonight. Jumper from the baseline by Simons is good. And South Central leads OD 22-7 after the first quarter. Whose heart does that break? Not mine.
No.
Allen on the blocks. Right wing pass to Lingenfelder. Corner to Perez. Down low to Onafield. His leaner over. Holmes is no good. Blocked. Picked up by Southwood. Now to Holmes. To Rich. 4:54 to play in the first quarter. 8-4 Rochester. Jump pass to Simons. 3 from the left baseline is an air ball. Picked up by Reinhardt's again this quarter. Now to Allen. Nick brings it up the floor through the center circle. Works to the right side. Now backs it back out. Now goes to his left. Against the double team. To Lingenfelder high on the left side. Make that right side. Lingenfelder around the defense. In the paint. Cut off by the double team. Quickly to Perez in the baseline. Brady fakes. Goes to the basket. Rises up and dunks it. Woo! Brady Perez with a 2-hand jam from the baseline. The Zebras are up 10-4.
He knew he was going to do that before he got the ball, because as soon as he caught it, he gave a ball head fake, got the defender to go past him, and he had a wide open shot to the basket.
Holmes for 3. No good. Lingenfelder with the rebound. Rochester runs up by 6. To Allen with 4 to play in the first quarter. Nick, bounce pass to Reinhardt's. Kyle fakes, goes outside to Perez, just inside the arc. Long jumper, good again.
Perez was 6 in this quarter.
2 of them from the same spot.
Yeah.
3:50 to play in the first quarter, 12-4. Rochester will lead Southwood of the basketball. Lloyd bounce pass to Simons, baseline to Rich. Rich drives the baseline. Jump pass to Barney. Outside to Holmes at the free throw line. Back down low to Barney. He works against Onafield. Double team. Ball loose. Picked up by Reinhardt's. Kyle is all over the place in this first quarter. Now to Perez. 3.5 to play. First quarter. 8-point lead for the Zebras. Reinhardt's zips it down low to Onafield. Goes out of bounds. I got a feeling if he had a catcher's glove on the hand, he couldn't catch that one.
About another half second or so, let Onafield get around the defense and get established. Then you wouldn't have had to whip it through to get it through the defense.
Into the game for the first time for Southwood is Luke Weiner, a 6-foot senior for the Knights. 3:25 to play, first quarter, 12-4 Rochester. Knights with the basketball, high on the left side to Lloyd. Lloyd, right wing, pass to Holmes, back to Lloyd on the left wing. Now middle of the floor, inside the arc to Holmes, outside the three-point line on the right wing. Gives to Simons on the right baseline. Back to Holmes, swings left side to Weiner.
Rochester in a 2-3 zone, but as Holmes shoots a three, long three.
And a quick catch and release.
Because I was just going to say, Rochester, even though they're in the 2-3 zone, doing a great job of getting ball pressure on the ball.
Allen breaks the press, goes to the left elbow, in the paint. Floater is blocked, picked up by Holmes, now to Rich. Rochester by 5, Southwood runs. Rich between the rings, hesitates, jump pass over the top to Simons, now to Holmes. Holmes kicks it out to Lloyd. Lloyd at the elbow, throws up a tough shot, it's short, on a field of the rebound. Now to Lingenfelder, ahead to Allen. 2:37 to play, now Rochester will use a timeout. It is a 30. You're listening to Zebra Basketball, 92.1 WROI and RTC TV4.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors.
Our customers Rocky Insurance offers personalized coverage options for all of your insurance needs. You can trust your policy through Erie Insurance has been customized specifically for you, your assets, and your budget. Online at brockyinsurance.com. Stay connected with the fastest internet speeds available with RTC Fiber Communications. Voice, data, and video connectivity for the 21st century. Local service, local support, local investment. Online at rtc1.com.
Please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production.
Yeah, he's been really good at those baseline jumpers here as of late. Val just sent me a text at halftime. Winamac and Logosport tied at 24. Quinn Stasiak in the game for the first time for the Zebras. Free throw line out to Brady. Now to Allen, back to Reinhardt. Outside to Trey Stasiak, quick three, right wing, no good. Put back by Reinhardt is good.
Reinhardt hanging out around the basket, gets one put back in.
Back to a 7-point lead for the Zebras, 2:15 to play in the first quarter. Lloyd from the left elbow is an air ball. Ball loose on the floor and has it stripped away. Brady Perez picks it up. Brady against the press, brings it across the timeline right. Bounce pass to Stasiak high on the right side. In the corner to Allen. 3 left baseline for the Zebras. It's good!
Allen didn't get much arc on that, but his second 3 of the quarter.
Rochester out to their biggest lead of the night at 10 at 17-7 with 1:45 to play in the first quarter. Rich high on the left side to Lloyd. Lloyd brings it to his right, between the rings of the volleyball line, now to the right wing to Holmes. Holmes against the 2-3 zone, outside to Simons. Simons in the center circle, now at the volleyball line, now to Lloyd on the right wing. Lloyd, takes it to his left to Holmes, fakes a 3, step back jumper over on a field is no good. Air ball, weak side rebound to Rich. Rich gives down low to Simons, backs his way in and travels.
Again, Rochester doing a great job of getting pressure on the basketball. That time Allen went for the fake and Onafield was right out to put some pressure on Holmes.
1:23 to play in the first quarter. Rochester up 17-7. And after the turnover, the Zebras of the basketball. Stasiak to Reinhardt. Kyle crosses the timeline to Allen on the left wing. Nick thought about dumping it into the post. Now does so on the baseline. 10-footer for Onafield is short. And the rebound fought for is going to be knocked out of bounds by the Zebras. But Reinhardt's right there again with his fingers on another potential rebound.
And that may be only the second or third miss by Rochester in this first quarter.
Yeah, you're right. We'll have to get those stats here coming up here at the break. Here comes a 2-3 trap, or the trap defense, I should say. And we're going to have a blocking foul whistled against the Zebras, and that's going to be Kyle Reinhardt's second.
Zebra common foul, number 11, Reinhardt.
1:02 to play in the first quarter. Isaiah Jackson comes into the game for the first time, and Reinhardt will have a seat. Rochester up by 10. Southwood basketball in front of the Rochester bench going to our right. Weiner gets it into Rich. To Holmes, quick 3 over the defense. Nope. Weak side rebound to Stasiak. Trey, bounce pass ahead to Jackson. Isaiah picks his dribble up, back to Stasiak, now to Brady Perez. Brady, jump pass in the corner to Allen. 3 from the baseline, no good. Weak side rebound to Onafield. Rochester the basketball, 42. Onafield, right wing pass to Allen, jump pass to Perez. 18-footer right baseline is short. Rebound fall for Holmes comes out of there with it, now to Weiner. Southwood runs. Down by 10, 30 seconds to play first quarter. Rich jump pass to Weiner on the right side. He's in the paint, kicks it back outside to Lloyd. Long three, left wing for the Knights is good. That cuts the Rochester lead to 7. Full court press by Southwood.
Well, now with Reinhardt's out of the game for Rochester, it's moved Perez down low on the defense, and Southwood finding some open looks.
And Holmes does it again after a turnover by the Zebras. And it's all of a sudden a 4-point lead for Rochester. 6-0 run right now for the Knights, and the Southwood press is really tough. Jumper at the buzzer, no good. After one, Rochester up 17-13. You're listening to Zebra Basketball, 92.1 WROI and RTC TV4.
RTC
Wanna know
cable
what I like
subscribers.
best about playing
Now you can
basketball
watch
for
your
my high
favorite
school?
cable networks
I
wherever
like it
you are,
because
on
it's a
your
place where my
phone,
friends get to see
tablet,
me
or
play.
computer. Just
I like it
log
because
on to www.
I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school
Enter your RTC account
and every
information
person in my
and sign up to watch
Indiana
TV
High School
everywhere.
Sports.
Live sports, videos on demand, and more, all for free with your RTC cable subscription.
They're more than
Watch
just
TV
a game.
everywhere.
Come.
Another great service
See me
from
play.
RTC.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors.
Brocky Insurance offers personalized coverage options for all of your insurance needs. You can trust your policy through Erie Insurance has been customized specifically for you, your assets, and your budget. Online at brockyinsurance.com. Stay connected with the fastest internet speeds available with RTC Fiber Communications. Voice, data, and video connectivity for the 21st century. Local service, local support, local investment. Online at rtc1.com.
Please support the local businesses.
Semi-state at the Fort Wayne Coliseum. I'd like to thank RTC4 for being at that game, that match on Saturday, the regional. Kelly and Jeremy did a fantastic job, and I watched that entire thing, almost the entire thing. And it was fantastic. I was excited. I was on the edge of my seat watching that. 3 for Lloyd, no good. Weak side rebound to Allen. Full court press by the Knights, off the miss. Jackson down low, layup, no good, but a foul coming on Barney, and that's going to send Isaiah to the line to shoot 2.
That'll be the second on Barney.
Also some swimming going on this weekend. Val will talk to us about that as well in the state meet. So Lingenfelder make that Jackson will shoot 2. Lingenfelder will come in after the first free throw if it's not for Isaiah. Isaiah ready. Southpaw fires the first one. Good. And so Cavalry back in, and Nick Allen will have a break. Brad Thomas, I'm David Musselman. 25 seconds into the second quarter. The Zebras back by 5. Jackson with one more for the Zebras. Isaiah ready. Eyes the second one. Lets it fly. Good again. Wasn't that the most boring Super Bowl you've ever seen in your life?
I went to bed at halftime.
If that would have been any other game, I'd have turned it in the first quarter.
Yeah.
What a snoozer.
Yep. I didn't even like the commercials.
I'll tell you what the commercial I like the best here in a minute. Allen to the basketball. Rochester in a 2-3 zone. Holmes at the free throw line. Goes to the basket. Layup off the glass. No good. Roy to the rebound. Allen, 3 for Southwood. Left baseline. No good. Block out by Onafield. He grabs a rebound. I believe Barney's going to pick up another foul. So did you notice the T-Mobile commercial? You might not have if you went to bed at halftime. The T-Mobile commercial comes on, and it's a father wanting to ask Google how to make eggplant parmesan or something like that. Full court press by Southwood. I'll get to that in a minute. Cracked me up because I can see me doing this here in about 10 years. Lingenfelder kicks it out to Stasiak. Left side of Lingenfelder throws it out of bounds. So anyway, the dad is saying, I need a Parmesan recipe. And the next thing you see is dad with question mark, exclamation mark. And he goes, I need a Parmesan recipe. Dad, this isn't Google. Can you please give me the eggplant Parmesan recipe? And she sent it back with the emoji of her hitting herself on the forehead and then just sending him a recipe. I sent Kennedy a text.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be me in 10 years.
There you go.
That's probably why I got a kick out of it, because I can see that happening.
You can relate to it. Yeah.
Southwood basketball going all right. 19-13 Zebras. Rochester in a 2-3 zone. Rich high on the left side to Lloyd.
I think my problem with the commercials nowadays is I'm always asking Google, who is this? Who is this?
That's what I had to do at halftime. Some of those performers at halftime stunk.
Right. I'm proud to admit I'm still stuck in the 60s and the 70s.
Including the more on 5.
Yeah.
6.5 minutes to play first half, 19-13. Rochester on top against the press now. Lingenfelder to Perez. Perez over the top to Allen. Left wing 3, left wide open is no good. Jackson with the rebound on the baseline. And he throws the ball away, picked up by Rich. Carson Rich, left-handed layup is good.
Most too hard off the glass.
Did you see his knee? He kind of hyper-extended that knee when he...
I saw him come down kind of awkward on it, yeah.
Allen right side. Fakes, stops, down low to Onafield. Layup no good, but a foul coming on Holmes. That's going to send Alex Onafield back to the line to shoot 2. It's a 4-point lead right now for the Zebras with 6 minutes to play in the first half.
And Holmes picks up his first, team 5th.
At the line for Rochester, shooting 2, Onafield.
That's the emoji right here, Brad. Right there's the emoji.
Yeah, I've used that one. Yeah.
Oh, that's good stuff. Thank you. Onafield makes the first free throw. 5-point lead for the Zebras with 6 minutes to play in the first half. Onafield with one more. Second one for the senior. Good again as it rattles in. Rochester back to a 6-point lead, 6 to play in the first half. Rich across the timeline to Holmes high on the left side. 2-3 zone by the Zebra defense to Rich. Rich a couple of dribbles in the paint. Fall away jumper is good. Good looking shot by Carson Rich, the sophomore.
He's got 6 for Southwood right now.
Allen breaks the press, goes to the left block, outside to Jackson. Kicks it out to Lingenfelder, fakes right, goes left. In the paint, jump stop, leaner, no good. Throws it out of bounds. They're going to say last touch by the Zebras. A lot of contact, no foul. A lot of hands swapping at that thing too. And
I'll tell you what, Coach Burris did a great job making an adjustment on his defense at that last time out. Rochester was finding a lot of good shots down low along the baseline underneath the volleyball white line. And Coach Burris told these guys, I don't want you coming above that white line in the defense. I want you to stay down, take that baseline away from them.
And they're doing a good job of that, you're right.
They've done that. It's been a little more difficult, Rochester, in the second quarter to find an open shot.
At halftime, South Central girls lead Oregon Davis in their sectional championship, 45-29. Boy, how would you like to be South Central? Great, you win the sectional, fantastic. Now you have 2 days to prepare for the regional.
Yeah, no kidding.
Southwood turns over, Brady Perez has it. 4:55 to play first half, Rochester by 4. Jump pass down low, goes through the hands of Jackson and out of bounds. So Rochester make that. Southwood wants a 30-second timeout. You're listening to Zebra Basketball, 92.1 WROI and RTC TV4.
At Co-Alliance, we understand the importance of community. After all, we've been farmer-owned since the 1920s. And now that we're a part of your community, we want to become your total agronomy solutions provider. Co-Alliance offers the latest in ag technology for your operation. From field scouting and fertilizers to premium seed and precision agriculture, we can help take your operation to the next level. Put the resources of your local cooperative to work. Contact Co-Alliance today.
Welcome back to Rochester High School. Still continuing the
commercial
the
conversation. Yeah. I don't know if this was the best commercial, but probably the best moment, I thought, of all the commercials was when the Game of Thrones knight crushed the Bud Light Knight's helmet.
Southwood basketball to bounce baseline right. Holmes looks to get it in. Does so over the top to Lloyd. Lloyd outside to Rich. 3 right wing. Good. And now the Southwood Knights have cut the Rochester lead to 1. 4.5 to play in the first half. Allen breaks the press.
And Rich with all 7 of the Southwood points in this quarter.
Holmes just picked up another foul.
That's his second.
Southwood common foul, number 10.
Oh, I've got tears in my eyes. Baseline left are the Zebras, and Allen will look to get it in. 4:26 to play, first half. Rochester up 21-20. Allen bounce pass in, stolen by Holmes, but it goes out of bounds. Brad Thomas, I'm David Musselman. Hey, Monday night, we're going to Ancilla College.
Okay. Okay.
And we're going to call the Ancilla Glen Oaks basketball game. Kennedy is a freshman at Glen Oaks, and we're going to cover that game on Monday.
Cool.
That's actually played at the Lifeplex, in case anybody cares and is going up to watch her. It's not at Ancilla, it's at the Lifeplex. 3 for Cavalry. Lingenfelder right wing is no good. Rebound to Southwood. Bryce Abbott in the game for the first time for the Zebras. 4:08 to play in the first half. Rich takes it right. Jumper from the right elbows, in and out, no good, and the rebound to Onafield. Nice looking shot by the sophomore.
Yeah, he's got all Southwood's points in the second quarter, all 7, and he just about had 2 more.
Onafield, left side to Allen. Allen, pull-up jumper from 15 feet, goes down.
And that is the first field goal for Rochester in this second quarter, the first bucket in quite a while.
23-20 Rochester, 3:40 to play. Holmes for the lead, for the tie is good. He is so quick to catch and shoot, even with somebody in his face.
That's his third 3 of this ball game.
Allen brings it across the timeline, playing with 2 fouls, right? On a field, baseline to Abbott, jump stop in the paint, kicks it out to Perez. Brady on the baseline, cut off by Simons in the drive. It's tied at 23, 3:20 to play in the first quarter. Lloyd steals it, ahead to Rich, left-handed layup, good, and Southwood has their first lead of the night at 25-23. Perez to Lingenfelder, Allen. Rochester yet to cross the timeline, now finally does, and Holmes just picked up foul number 3. And he's going to have to come out.
Nice job by Allen. I don't know if he realized that Holmes was fighting foul trouble, but he did a good job of taking him to the baseline, trying to get around him. Holmes just too slow to get in front.
So, if you've got a favorite commercial, I kind of like to hear that. Y'all have my cell number, so just text me.
Just text him.
So at the free throw line is Nick Allen. 3:04 to play in the first half. Southwood by 2. Allen at the line for 1 and the bonus. Allen's free throw, no good. Holmes with the rebound. He stays in. Hey.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'll get to that here in a minute. Dave, make that Carson Rich from the free elbow is good.
My goodness.
We have a vote for the NFL 100. Did you see that with all those former NFL stars?
Yeah. That's 11 for Rich in this quarter. He's got 13 in the game.
Abbott kicks it out to Perez. Brady, 18-footer, good again. 2:28 to play in the first half. Southwood up 27-25. High on the left side is Rich. Now back to Lloyd. Lloyd, long jumper is good again. It's a 2-pointer. He's a foot on the line, and now Southwood by 4. It was chicken parm, I guess. Rochester turns it over. Layup is missed. Holmes loses the basketball. Now,
and now he got teched up.
And that's his 4th foul.
Yes.
Holmes thought he was bumped. He turned around and said something to the referee. Referee didn't like it. He got teed up, and we'll shoot free throws.
Holmes may not see the second half at the rate he's going.
His 4th personal, team's 8 at the line shooting for Rochester, Bryce Abbott.
So Bryce Abbott at the line to shoot 2 for the Zebras. Down by 4, 2 minutes to play in the first half. Bryce fires the first one, short. One more coming for the junior. Yeah, you know what? It's tough to stand out there with all the eyes on you and
by
nobody.
Yourself, yeah. You're right.
Abbott with one more for the Zebras, looking to cut into this 4-point lead. Second on the way is good this time. So it'll be technical and the ball for the Zebras at the timeline. And that's going to send Weiner back to the line. And, you know, Holmes will come out with 4 fouls. And it'll be interesting to see how long Coach Burris leaves him on the bench. And I'm talking, it's going to happen the rest of this half, but how far into the
does he leave him until the 4th quarter? Does he bring him in the 3rd? Yeah, it's going to be a gamble.
And when we see 10 come in, we have to take the ball right at him.
Oh, absolutely.
Perez with 1:50 to play. Jeez, their defense has been ratcheted up a notch or 2. Allen to the free throw line is good. Nick Allen cuts the Southwood lead to 1 with 100 seconds to play in the first half.
Well, this is where Rochester needs to make hay right now is when Holmes is on the bench.
Rich loses the handle, picked up by Allen. Nick Allen for Rochester, then loses it to Barney. Rich brings it up the floor, high on the left side, and now we're going to have a foul on the wing, I believe, by Abbott. We'll wait and see.
That was on Abbott, his first. Team fourth.
Out of bounds to Southwood, baseline left. Simons will look to get it in with a minute 30 to play in the first half. Leading by 1, 29-28. Bounce pass into Lloyd in the baseline. Lloyd takes Stasiak to the basket, gets fouled on the shot. He'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Trey Stasiak picks up his first.
Gage Lloyd is a 5'9" junior for the Southwood Knights, looking to add to this 1-point lead. Lloyd flies the first one, no good, in and out. He'll have one more. Sorry, talked to Brian Jennings a little bit earlier. Sixth grade girls opened tonight with Plymouth. Kind of took one on the chin, but Plymouth is really good. The free throw is good, and I believe Brady Perez is going to be called for the hook. And that's going to, Southwood will keep possession.
So Perez picks up his first.
So it'll be Southwood basketball out of bounds, baseline right. Simons will look to get it in. 30-28. Lloyd gets the inbounds pass. Now to Weiner at the free throw line. Outside to Lloyd on the right wing. Minute 20 to play, first half. 30-28. Lloyd loses the handle, picks it back up, throws up a tough shot, no good. And Arnafield is going to be fouled on the rebound by Weiner, and Alex will walk to the other end and shoot one in the bonus.
Weiner picks up his second.
1:14 to play in the first half. Rochester down by 2. Arnafield on the line to shoot one in the bonus for the Zebras. In case you're just joining us, last Friday night, last Saturday night, Southwood knocked off the number 1 team in Class 3A, who were at that time 16-0.
Yeah. Also the defending state champions in 3A?
I don't know if the guys, the girls for sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they won a close one on Monday night. They beat Mechanical in the championship in the girls, 80-23.
Yeah. Yeah, the TRC didn't fare so well in girls sectional finals.
Nope, you're right. Well, Oak Hill's really good,
Yeah.
really good. Onafield hits both, and we're tied at 30 with a minute 14 to play in the first half. Brad Thomas, I'm David Musselman. Val coming up at halftime, talks swimming and wrestling. Best part of the show. Rich, floater, good off the glass. Just when you thought he was going to go to a jump stop and pass, he just kept floating and put it in for 2, and they're back up by 2. Perez gets the inbounds pass from Stasiak and then throws it out of bounds with 55 seconds to play in the first half.
And guess who was mixed up in the middle of all that? Carson Rich.
Yep. Simons baseline right will look to trigger it in. Southwood up by 2. They've got the basketball. Pass comes into Lloyd. Quick 3 is blocked. Picked up by Onafield. Alex now to Allen. 50 seconds. To Onafield. To Stasiak. Trey. Bounce pass across the timeline to Allen. Nick Allen over the top to Stasiak. Trey, one dribble. Throws it away. Picked up by Southwood. 32 seconds. Barney outside to Rich with 29. Bounce pass near side to Simons with 28. To Weiner with 25. Left side to Lloyd. He'll take a quick 3. Left wing is in and out. No good. And the basketball is going to be knocked out of bounds on the rebound by Barney. Rochester will get it back down by 2 with 20 seconds to play in the first half.
That shot by Lloyd was all but in.
Lingenfelder back into the game. Stasiak to sit down. Yeah, you're right. That thing was down and came out.
Yeah.
Full court press by the Knights. Lingenfelder gets it into Perez. Back to Calvary with 17. To Brady with 15. To Onafield over the top to Allen with 12. Allen with 10. Outside to Lingenfelder with 9. Calvary right side to Brady Perez. Ball loose. Picked up by Onafield with 5. Jump pass to Abbott. Quickly, the jumper with 3 seconds is no good. Southwood with a rebound, and that'll do it for the first half. After one complete half, the Knights lead the Zebras 32-30. You're listening to Zebra Basketball, 92.1 WROI and RTC TV4.
Got that new home edition and you're keeping it covered.
Ooh, coverages now, I can help with this. Got zone coverage, man coverage, combo coverages.
I don't know, Peyton. I think more like the coverage your Nationwide agent offers.
Oh, you want to go there. Home, auto, life, business, farm, boat, RV, ATV, camper, pet, motorcycle, your tour bus. Did I mention farm?
Contact Jennings Insurance Agency today or visit one of our offices in Argus and Rochester.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors.
Enyard's True Value in Rental is your local one-stop shop for all of your home improvement and party rental needs. Let our friendly and knowledgeable staff help you with your next project or event. Start right. Start here. Stay connected with the fastest internet speeds available with RTC Fiber Communications. Voice, data, and video connectivity for the 21st century. Local service, local support, local investment. Online at rtc1.com.
Please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production.
This broadcast brought to you in part by these local sponsors. Enjoy the game with an ice-cold Coke. Locally owned and operated since 1907, Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Kokomo proudly supports 28 high schools in north central Indiana. Our starting lineup of brands are sure to keep you hydrated on the sidelines and at home. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Kokomo. RTC TV4 thanks you for watching tonight's broadcast. Sponsorship and advertising opportunities are available, and free production is included with
Trail the Southwood Knights 32-30. Val Saris, Rochester Sentinel Sports editor, joins us. And Val, I want to give you as much time as you need to talk a little bit about wrestling and swimming. I was able to watch wrestling, the Regeling Regional at Peru on Saturday, and there were some fantastic matches. And what the match that never has disappointed me yet since I've been watching wrestling, which hasn't been a long time, but the Moore Gilbert matchup has been phenomenal.
What a rivalry. They've wrestled 4 times this year, and Zane's won all 4, but none of them have been easy.
It's been 1 point, right? It was in the sectional and in the regional.
It was 1 point in the sectional. It was 5 points in the regional. Okay. Zane won 8-3. Delton Moore actually got the first takedown. He was up 2-0, and then Zane got a 5-point move late in the first period. He got a reversal and then a 3-point near fall. So that was worth 5 points. He went from 2-0 down to 5-2 ahead, and Zane is hard to catch once he's ahead because, you know, Clint Gard always calls Zane Gumby-like because he is so wiry and so, like, he is so flexible that once you think you have him down, and he's thinking that he has you down, and he does usually. I mean, he's the most amazing wrestler I've ever seen in terms of, I mean, Delton Moore has tree trunks for legs.
Oh my God.
He is a huge dude, but Zane is so slippery that you can't corral him, and Zane is always the best conditioned wrestler, no matter, I mean, forget about who his opponent is, Delton Moore even. I mean, I don't know if you saw his match against Oak Hill, which was his ticket match. He won by technical fall, 30-15. In 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Zane had 15 takedowns in 2 minutes and 15 seconds.
Well, I was listening to Jeremy and Kelly call that match, and is he not approaching the school record for takedowns?
Right, he wants the school record for takedowns, so that was kind of on purpose. But, I mean, also you have to be really in shape to do that. I mean, so he would take down the guy, then he would give him an escape, which is 1 point, then take him down for 2, then give him 1. So it was like 2-0, 2-1, 4-1, 4-2, 6-2, 6-3, 8. So the score, and then once he was up by 15 points, the match was over. But that just takes an incredible amount of condition. The Oak Hill kid was ready for a nap about toward the end of the he was, I mean, because Zane just kept picking him back up off, and then Zane would put him back down again. But Zane and then Zane beat the kid from Western, Lechner, who's also a really good wrestler in the semifinals, to get to wrestle Delton Moore. So,
you know, we were kind of talking a little bit. It's probably going to be Moore and Gilbert again in the semi-state championship.
It's quite possible. I mean, it's very possible that they meet again. Obviously, if they meet again, they know both will have made it to state already.
Yeah.
So, I mean, who knows if it'll have that quite intensity, but it's certainly possible.
Hayden Prater wrestled well. Drew Sailors wrestled well.
Yeah. Hayden Prater won the regional title at 152. Drew Sailors won the regional title at 160, and, of course, Zane at 170. First time Rochester's had 3 regional champions in one day since 2005.
Really? Okay.
When Garrett James, Corey Fornell, and Matty Miller were the 3 that did it that day.
Okay.
That's 2 regional titles in a row for Drew Sailors. He won 1 last year, and he's I think Rochester had only about 5 wrestlers in their history have won multiple regional titles. Damon Hummel won it 4 regional titles.
Yeah.
That's still he's still up there, but not many kids have won multiple. It's hard to win a regional. You got to be really good. Hayden is so athletic, and he is very hard to deal with. I mean, because he can just explode at you and get a takedown and a fall like that, and he's really developed that. You know, Coach Gard talks about his mental toughness and his physical toughness. He just does not, even when he's wrestling a really tough opponent. That kid from Eastern, who Hayden wrestled in the final, he's really, that kid's a freshman, and he's like 36-2.
Really?
I mean, Hayden could see him again on Saturday.
You know, you talk about a record of 36-2.
Yeah.
I watched the heavyweight from Mechanical.
Yeah,
that kid,
Adam Bowman, yeah.
He is a load. I think he's like 30-0 or something like that.
He's undefeated. He won the TRC, sectional and regional. He's really tough, and the TRC is full of good heavyweights. Bryce Campus of Manchester, Grant Warmuth of Wabash. They're all really good, but Bowman's atop the list. There are a lot of good heavyweights in the TRC.
So Saturday at the Fort Wayne Coliseum?
Yeah, at the Fort Wayne Coliseum. It starts at 8:30 a.m. So get there early. It'll be in the main room, the main gym of the, basically the basketball floor at the Coliseum. They'll spread out along 4 mats along the length of the gym, and again, it's great because you can kind of spread out. I mean, you can get a ticket wherever you want and sit up close and get a good view of whoever you want to see. But it's 14 weight classes, 16 wrestlers in each weight class, top 4 in each weight class advance to state. So you have to win twice to make it to state. If you lose within the first 2 rounds, you're done.
Okay.
So Swimming. It is a fantastic event.
Swimming, real quick.
McKenna Beal of Rochester, she made the state finals in the 500 freestyle at the sectional on Saturday. It was a great, Gracie Willig of Warsaw was actually the #1 seed. But McKenna, she swam a little slowly according to her. She kind of paced herself on Friday in the prelims to be ready for the finals. And she said, I wanted to get off to a good start. I wanted to get out to a lead and force Gracie Willig to catch me from behind, and she couldn't. About halfway through the race, she was up by about 10-15 yards, and she won by 7 seconds. She won easily. Great job. And I think that her brother Mason won the 500 free at last year's sectional. Right. So it's definitely a family event, because that is not a fun event. And she even said, man, our practices over Christmas break were hard. But
what time does she swim?
She swims 6 o'clock Friday at the IU Natatorium at IUPUI down in Indianapolis.
Okay.
And Ellie Shank was 4th in the 500 free.
So, very good.
So she trains with McKenna, and so she's really good too. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention her as well.
Real quick, why is OD and South Central playing tonight?
Because of the snow, it's a 7-team sectional. They didn't want to have a triple header. So they played 1 game on Friday, 2 on Saturday. They played the semifinals last night, final tonight.
Val, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
We'll see you later.
Okay.
Val Sarah, sports editor of the Rochester Sentinel. We're going to take a 30-second timeout. Come back with first half numbers. That's next, 92.1 WROI and RTC TV4.
Smith Farm Stores has everything you need for your home and your farm, both inside and out. We are your local Steel, Skag, and Simplicity dealer, offering a full-service center with a certified technician on site. Smith Farm Stores offers a wide variety of household appliances, including top-brand refrigerators, washing machines, and dryers. We are also a full-service paint center, offering on-site color matching and more. Stop by today or check us out online. Smith Farm Stores, everything you need and more.
This is Old You. And this is Now You.
Clive wears his fire hat and coat in the rain.
Things change. Your insurance should too. Talk to an Indiana Farm Bureau insurance agent. And now you can stop knocking on wood.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors. Evans Agency in Rochester, offering farm liability, farm personal property, and farm outbuilding policies, all customized to fit your insurance needs. Let Judy help you protect all of your possessions. Online at evansagencyrochester.com. First Federal Savings Bank is your local mortgage lender with 6...
Kennedy plays for the Vikings. will play at Ancilla, which is at the Lifeplex at the 5:30 tip on Monday nights for a 5:15 pregame show on WROI. Rochester starts the basketball against a 2-3 zone. Rochester with it on a field of the free throw line. Loses the handle, picked up by Simons. Simons right side of the floor. 20 seconds into the third quarter, Southwood by 2. Rich with the basketball for the Knights, near side to Lloyd. Lloyd back to Rich. Rochester in a 2-3 zone. Pull-up jumper from the free throw line is short. Rebound fall for Reinhardt, then travels after the board. Southwood basketball baseline right. And the inbounds pass is kicked away by Perez. Lloyd baseline right will look to trigger it in. 7:26 to play in the third quarter. Barney gets the inbounds pass now to Rich. Carson Rich around the defense at the free throw line, kicks it out to Weiner left wing. Out to Lloyd's three straight away from downtown, off the back of the rim, no good. And an offensive rebound to Southwood. Rochester had about 3 different fingertips on that basketball, which probably is why Southwood got the rebound.
Yeah, both teams shooting about 50% from the field overall.
That explains why it's so tight.
Yeah.
Rochester had to shoot better than that in the first quarter. Simon's floater on the baseline is good. Southwood up by 4. Full court press by the Knights. Lingenfelder gives to Reinhardt's over the top to Allen. He loses the handle. And now we're going to have an over and back call whistled against the Zebras, and they're going to give it back on the turnover. How many turnovers in the first half?
They had 10 in the first half. They started this third quarter with 3.
Elijah Yarber comes into the game for the first time. And he replaces Onafield. Brad Thomas, I'm David Musselman. Southwood with the basketball. That shot missed by the Southwood Knights, picked up by the Zebras, and then throws it out of bounds.
Yep.
Returning to the Zebra lineup, number 4,
Isaiah Jackson back into the game, and coming out is Calvary Lingenfelder. 6.5 to play, third quarter, 4-point lead by the Knights. Allen kicks it out to Rich, down to Simon in the right corner, back to Rich, right wing. Left side to Lloyd. Lloyd one dribble to his right, gives to Barney in the blocks, outside to Rich, quickly to Simon. Simon, being triple teamed, loses the handle, rises up in the paint, shot no good, Perez with the board. Holmes picked up 4 fouls in the first half, and he starts his second half on the bench. Reinhardt to Perez, throws it away. The 4th consecutive turnover by the Zebras. Brady Perez then sets up for a charge and gets it. Rich picks up the charging foul. Turnover Southwood. Rochester going to get it back.
That'll be the first foul on Rich, team first of the half. Rochester started this third quarter with 5 consecutive turnovers. They have yet to set an offensive set on this half of the floor.
You're right. Gets the full court press. This press is giving us fits. Allen with the basketball, right under the Southwood basket. Ahead to Brady Perez. He crosses the timeline right against Weiner. Picks up his dribble right in front of the bench. Rochester bench to Yarber. Yarber, baseline, underhand pass down low to Jackson. He puts it in for 2. Nice ball fake by Jackson. It got the Southwood Knights off their feet, and he put it in for 2. 34-32, Southwood. Simons to Rich. Back to Simons, quickly to Barney. Barney's pass is deflected, but picked up by Lloyd for Southwood in the corner to Weiner. Weiner out to Lloyd. 3 on the way, left side, no good. And Reinhardt's another rebound for the Zebras. You know, Lloyd had the basketball, and the defenders kind of ran away from him, and so got a wide open look behind the arc.
Well, right now, Rich is the one that's hurting us offensively. Lloyd's taking a lot of shots. He hasn't made a lot of them yet.
Brady Perez shot missed. Reinhardt's putback is good again. And we're tied at 34, under 5 to play in the third quarter. Rich is then fouled on the way to the basket by Isaiah Jackson.
So Jackson picks up his first, second.
4:51 to play in the third quarter. We're tied at 34. Perry will come back in for Southwood here the next opportunity. Lloyd high on the left side. Jump pass in the lane to Barney, and he is fouled again by Jackson, who picks up the foul number 3.
got caught reaching in.
At the end of 3 in the 1A girls sectional, South Central leads Oregon Davis 67-40. Think South Central will call off the Dogs? Highly doubt it.
Not likely, no.
Not as many times as OD has poured it on. Southwood basketball, Perry with it on the left wing. Rochester in the 2-3 zone. We're tied at 35, 4.5 to play in the third quarter. Simon on the baseline against the double team. Outs to Rich. Rich splits a double team. Underhand pass down low to Barney. Now jump pass out to Simon. He runs over Reinhardt's, no call. Actually ran over Yarborough, no call. That's got to be a charge or it's got to be a foul. There was a ton of contact there, no call. Reinhardt's has his pass tipped away and taken to the basket by Simon, and we're going to have a foul. Is that going to be on Simon or Reinhardt, or is that going to be on, Reinhardt's or Allen?
They're going to call that on Allen, his first.
His first, team's third.
Coach Malco saying, hey, you can't get a charge. And Coach Burris looks at Coach Malco saying, yeah, they missed it. What in the world? The lob pass inbounds. What in the world is that? And Nick Allen out jumped Lloyd to get it, and in the meantime, Lloyd picks up a foul.
That's his first.
I'm guessing Coach Burris will say, don't do that again. Perez gets it into Allen. Yeah, that's exactly right. Make a good pass. Yep. Reinhardt's over the top to Perez. Brady right baseline, backs it out behind the arc, picks up his dribble. Bounce pass to Reinhardt's to the right elbow extended. Loose ball picked up by Allen, now to Brady. Rises baseline, throws up a tough shot, no good. Ball being tipped around. Southwood comes out of there with it. Now Simon runs for the Knights. Simon to Barney at the free throw line. Pull-up jumper from 15 is short, and Reinhardt's for the rebound.
Jackson just takes it all the way in from about midcourt for an easy layup.
We've talked before how Isaiah Jackson could take over a game if he wanted to. Well, we're tied again at 36. 3:25 to play in the third quarter. Southwood of the basketball going to our left. Rich over the top to Lloyd. Long three, right wing, short. Offensive rebound to Perry. 10-foot putback is no good. Another offensive rebound by Barney. Barney put back from 15 feet. No, Brady Perez finally grabs the board. Brady against the full court press, gives to Jackson. Braxton splits the double team. Ball loose on the floor. Rochester scrambling for it. We're going to time out Zebras. It'll be a 30. You're listening to Rochester Basketball. 92.1 WROI, RTC TV4.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors. The lawyers and staff at Peterson, Wagoner & Perkins LLP are here to provide the highest quality legal and professional service to their clients presently and for the future. See a full list of services online at peterson-wagoner.com. Woodlawn Hospital, offering state-of-the-art care for Fulton County for over 100 years. Woodlawn Hospital is the area's healthcare leader. Comprehensive care from head to toe. Online at woodlawnhospital.com. Please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production.
Between the defenders, but he couldn't get the ball to fall in the hole.
Perry quickly to Rich in the paint from 10 feet, shot short. Reinhardt's another board. Kyle ahead to Brady Perez, across the timeline right in front of the bench. Crossover dribble, takes him to the lane. Finger roll off the window, it's good.
Perez with 10 now.
2 minutes to play in the third quarter. Rochester back on top, 38-36. Bounce pass on the baseline to Simon. Now to Lloyd high on the right side. Left wing pass to Perry. Perry right wing pass to Lloyd. Now to Rich in the paint. Stops, pops, short. Rebound by Southwood. Weiner fouled him a shot. He'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Lingenfelder.
Shooting foul, number 24, Lingenfelder. His first, team's fourth. At the line for
So Weiner will go to the line to shoot 2. Alex Onafield and Bryce Abbott will come back in for Rochester after the first free throw. Brad Thomas, I'm David Musselman. First one for Weiner is good, as he'll have one more.
Returning for Rochester, number 30, Abbott, and number 34, Onafield.
One more coming for Weiner for the Knights. Try to tie this game at 38 with 1:47 to play in the third quarter. Second one for Weiner. Nope. Oh, geez, nice push by Rich. And he got the rebound after pushing Reinhardt's away from him. Lloyd, 3, right wing, in and out, no good. Nice rebound by Onafield, who gives to Lingenfelder. Southwood sets up the press, and Jackson has on the sideline. Wrap around pass to Onafield. He leans in, throws up a shot. Good, foul!
Nice job by Jackson taking the ball all the way to the baseline and able to find Onafield on the opposite side. Onafield holding his ground against the defensive pressure.
After 3, Wabash leads Tippecanoe Valley 39-31.
The three-point play.
Of course, we have Wabash down there
on Friday.
Over there on Friday night. Onafield's free throw is good, and he completes a three-point play the traditional way. Rochester now back up, now by 4 with 1:24 to play in the third quarter. Perry to Rich. Back to Perry, left wing. 3 for the youngster. Nope. Abbott with a board. Bryce against the press. Now to Lingenfelder. Baseball pass ahead to Jackson. Jackson left side, now on the baseline. Pulls it back outside behind the three-point line. Now loses the handle to Perry. Ahead to Rich. Carson Rich, a sophomore. Leaner off the window is good.
Southwood basket, number 14, Rich.
And then the pass is knocked away again by Rich. Wrap around pass to Perry. Loses it to Reinhardt's. Wow, that was a good pass. While in the air. 45 seconds to play in the third quarter. It's a 2-point lead for the Zebras. Abbott over the top to Jackson. Down low to Onafield, and it's kicked out of bounds by Simon. Barney back into the game for the Southwood Knights. Holmes has set this entire quarter.
Yeah, he has.
And they're still right there.
Within 2 points, right.
Lingenfelder, baseline right. Over the top to Jackson. Back to Lingenfelder with 37. Entry pass kicked out of bounds by Weiner. 36.8 to play in the third. 41-39 Rochester. Zebra basketball on the baseline. Lingenfelder bounce pass into Reinhardt's to Abbott. Over the top to Lingenfelder. Cavalry in the wing now. Jump pass goes right to Coach Stasiak on the bench. He's not playing tonight. And the Zebra's going to give it back to the Southwood Knights. 29 seconds to play in the third. 2-point lead for the Zebras. Rich directs traffic with 22. Now to Lloyd at 21. To Rich with 20. Quick 3, right wing. Yep. And the Knights are back on top, 42-41 with 15. Abbott loses the handle. Picks up the loose ball. With 10. With 9. To Jackson. They're going to have to hurry to get it across, and they just do with 5. And Rochester loses it out of bounds again. 5 seconds to play in the third. Southwood by 1.
That's 10 turnovers in this quarter. They had 10 in the first half.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Oh, Rich is going to get it into the timeline at the volleyball line with 2. Jumper at the buzzer with 1 is no good. After 3, Southwood leads the Zebras 42-41. You're listening to Zebra Basketball, 92.1 WROI and RTC TV 4.
Ever wonder why your local TV bill keeps going up? The bulk of these increases are due to rising network fees. A few powerful media companies dictate what TV providers must pay to offer their channels to you. And every time networks demand more money, that affects what you pay every month. If TV providers don't meet their demands, networks threaten blackouts. Since 1999, these network fees have increased by 3.5 times the rate of inflation. To see what we're doing to keep network fees in check, visit tvonmyside.com.
First Federal Savings Bank has provided mortgage loans for over 50 years. We're now offering commercial loans to support our local businesses.
We offer business loans for real estate, equipment, lines of credit, and investments. We also offer Simply Free business checking for all your banking needs.
Contact Lindy Breeden, our business lending expert, to take the worry out of your business banking.
And remember, we don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best bank.
Yeah, they had 10 turnovers in that third quarter. They started the quarter with 5 consecutive turnovers in a row. They had 10 for the entire first half.
Quinn Stasiak makes his first appearance in this varsity game. He had 16 in the JV game tonight. The JV won 50-44.
Still no Dallas Holmes.
Yeah, why not? You're winning.
Yeah.
Carson Rich has played really well.
He's got 20 for the Knights.
Yes. That pass is tipped away by Reinhardt. Kyle Reinhardt will go all the way to the basket. In the paint. Leaner on the way is good, and the Zebras back up 43-42.
Reinhardt's with 10 rebounds in this basketball game. He now has 6 points to go with it.
I was going to say, Val gave us that stat. I knew he had to be getting close. Rich high on the right side for the Knights. Zebras up by 1 with 30 seconds into the fourth quarter here at Rochester High School. Rich, jump pass outside of Lloyd. 3 top of the keys, off the mark, no good. And the rebound goes off of Southwood out of bounds. Zebras are going to get it back, and they'll work against the full court press. Now here he comes.
Here comes Holmes, yep.
Dallas Holmes picked up 4 fouls in the first half, and he'll come back into the game for the Knights. But here's what I'm thinking. He had 2 minutes to play in the second quarter on the bench. Halftime, sitting in the locker room.
Yeah.
Third quarter on the bench. Is he cold?
We'll find out.
We're about to find out. The inbounds pass comes into Allen. Nick brings it up the floor. Crossover dribble ahead to Reinhardt. Kyle hesitates,
yeah, you gotta
runs,
go against him.
Kicks it outside to Stasiak. 3 right wing for the Zebras is good.
Quinn Stasiak in off the bench, hits a 3.
Zebras back up by 4. 7 to play in the game. Their biggest lead was 10 at 17-7. Holmes in the right wing, back to Rich. Jump pass to Barney, out to Holmes against the double team.
You got to figure Holmes is only in the game to distribute the ball or shoot it, because he can't, with 4 fouls, he can't really do much of anything else.
Or you can throw it out of bounds.
Well, yeah.
Turnover Southwood. Rochester gets it back up by 4. You're right.
I don't think those were one of the options that Coach Burris gave him.
I'm guessing you're right. Inbounds to Reinhardt, now to Quinn Stasiak. Quinn hesitates, fakes, ahead to Perez. Brady. Baseline to Allen, has his shot saved from going out of bounds by Holmes. Now to Rich. Logan Sports defeats Winnemac tonight, 56-50. Thank you, Val. Simons, Coach Burris will take a timeout. It will be a 30. You're listening to Zebra Basketball, 92.1 WROI and RTC TV4.
There's been a lot of talk lately about net neutrality. At RTC, our customers receive the full and open internet, and nothing less. We are not the gatekeeper, toll operator, or curator. A free and open internet has been the single biggest driver of innovation over the last generation, and we want that engine of innovation to live on in our customers. If you ever have a question about your internet service, give RTC a call. We are here for you.
.6:24 to play in the game. Rochester up 46-42. After the Southwood timeout, they'll have the basketball right in front of their bench going to our left. Brad Thomas, I'm David Musselman. Whitco wins tonight. They beat Central Noble 73-66. Thank you, Val. Southwood basketball. Lloyd runs the point. Left side to Holmes. Back to Lloyd. Lloyd between the rings of the volleyball line to Holmes. Quick catch and shoot for Holmes is no good. Reinhardt's another board. Perez now will bring it up. Before the timeline, he gets it across court to Allen. Nick around the defense. Jump pass in the corner to Stasiak. Quinn fakes a 3, steps back, throws it up again. It's good, just inside the arc. Quinn has 5, and the Zebras are up by 6. Southwood of the basketball. Simons runs the baseline. Pull-up jumper over on the field. No good. To put back by Southwood. A lot of contact, no foul. Goes out of bounds, and the Zebras, actually the Knights will keep possession. Baseline left is Holmes. Will look to get it in. Make that 5:54 to play in the basketball game. Zebras by 6.
Southwood has not scored in this fourth quarter.
The inbounds pass is taken away by Allen. Nick Allen, left side of the floor, picks up his dribble. Now to Reinhardt. Pull up 15-footer to the baseline is good again.
Reinhardt's with an 8 now.
And the lead is 8.
Is that the biggest?
10.
Okay.
Holmes 3, left wing, no good. Allen to the rebound. Allen sets up the pass and he has it kicked away. And he'll stay with Rochester. Brad Thomas, I'm David Musselman. Rochester's outside of a few turnovers in the third quarter has really played a good game. Perez looks to get it in right in front of Coach Burris, does so to Quinn Stasiak. Stasiak against Rich. Brings it up the floor, loses the handle. Picked up by the Zebras. Allen gets it across the timeline before the 10-second count. He's on the block, outside of Stasiak. Quinn, left wing. Pass now to Allen, down low to Reinhardt. Kyle on the blocks against the double team.
Oh, has it taken away by Holmes.
Yeah, reaches in, Holmes does, and takes it away. He pulls up, jumper on the way out the window. Nope, rebound out of field. Now to Allen. Against the press on the miss. Allen to Stasiak. Quinn fakes, runs. Lloyd fouls him. That'll be out of bounds to Rochester at the timeline, right in front of the scorer's table.
That's 2 on Lloyd, 4 on the team.
His second, team's fourth.
Again, Wabash looking at over 4 minutes without a bucket here.
Southwood.
I'm sorry, Southwood.
That's all right. Timeout, Southwood. It's a 60. You're listening to Zebra Basketball, 92.1 WR.
RTC cable subscribers. Now you can watch your favorite cable networks wherever you are, on your phone, tablet, or computer. Just log on to www.watchtveverywhere.com. Enter your RTC account information and sign up to watch TV everywhere. Live sports, videos on demand, and more, all for free with your RTC cable subscription. Watch TV everywhere. Another great service from RTC.
At Co-Alliance Propane, we treat our customers like neighbors because, well, that's what we are. When you trust Co-Alliance Propane as your seriously local propane provider, you're trusting a team of professionals who live, work, and watch the game from right across the county, not the country. A team that's close by and seriously dedicated to your safety and providing the best service possible. Find out more about Co-Alliance Propane's seriously local service and how you can get 50 gallons of propane free at coalliancepropane.com.
Rochester with 3, and Rochester with a possession arrow.
So after that big 19-point second quarter by Southwood, they've only scored 10 points in the second half.
Rochester's fought. You know, we had 10 turnovers in the third quarter. We kept it tight.
Yeah.
And they fought now to an 8-point lead thanks to hot shooting by Quinn Stasiak.
Absolutely, and this the defense here in the second half has been, or especially this fourth quarter, has been really good.
Stasiak over the top to Allen. Nick, left elbow extended. Jumper is no good. Rebound by Stasiak. Saves going out of bounds, but right into the hands of Rich. Rich running the other way. He'll go coast to coast. Leaner over Reinhardt is no good, but a blocking foul whistled against Kyle Reinhardt. And Carson Rich will go to the line to shoot 2.
Reinhardt picks up his third.
Zebra shooting foul number 11, Reinhardt, his third.
So Carson Rich, a sophomore, will go to the line to shoot 2 for the Southwood Knights. Rochester by 8, 4:25 to play in the game.
Rich with 20 points for the Knights. When Dallas Holmes went to the bench, Carson Rich went on fire.
You're right. Well, somebody had to.
Yeah. Well, he had 18 of their 31 points.
Free throw.
Stretch.
Nope. Too close.
Yeah. But they're still scoreless in this fourth quarter.
One more coming for Rich. Looking to cut this Rochester lead to 7. Again, 4:25 to play in the game. Brad Thomas, I'm David Musselman. We've seen a pretty good game. Second one for the sophomore, no good. Rebound to Simons, ball loose, ball still loose, picked up by the Zebras. Allen with the basketball, can he dribble? We're about to find out, yep. Stasiak, Quinn across the timeline against Holmes and throws it away. Holmes just got away with his fifth foul.
He was trying to draw the foul, couldn't get it.
Rich, blocked from behind, no, Onifield's gonna pick up the body foul. Carson Rich will go back to the line to shoot 2.
Onafield picks up his first. Team fifth.
4:07 to play in the game. An 8-point lead for the Zebras. Nick Allen, I think, was pushed in the stands on that far side. Came up a little
lame.
Yeah, on his right leg, I believe. How do you get pushed in the stands and no call?
Right.
Rich.
Wow, finally got one
to
to
roll over
roll.
the front of the rim.
That breaks a long scoring drought, well over 4 minutes for Southwood.
7-point lead for the Zebras. Rich with one more for the Knights. The southpaw eyes the second one, lets it fly. Short again, falls off again. On the field to the rebound to Allen. Nick runs. Across the timeline against Simons. Right in front of the Rochester bench against a double team. Gets a triple team now. Out to Stasiak. Quinn with the basketball on the right wing. Jump stop with the right elbow. Out to Allen. 3, right baseline for the Zebras. Short. And the rebound to Holmes. Dallas Holmes runs for the Knights. Holmes in the paint. Runs over Stasiak. Charge on the Holmes. He is finished. The sophomore Quinn Stasiak saw that thing coming as he spun right into him and committed his 5th foul. 3:47 to play in the game. The Zebras by 7.
Well, Quinn tried to get him out on the block and foul a couple of possessions earlier, and this time he set up and took the charge. He knew he was coming. You know where he's going. He's only going to go to the basket and to the rim. Yep. Quinn beat him down there and set up down low. And when he spun around, he
easily their best scorer.
Yeah,
on the season. I mean, tonight it's
for
been
the season. Yeah.
Law pass comes into Perez, hands off to Stasiak, over the top to Reinhardt's. Kyle, now to Brady Perez right in front of the Rochester bench. Now to Stasiak near the timeline. Fakes left, one dribble to his right, picks up against a double team, out to Allen in the center circle. Nick Allen loses it from behind, picked up by on the field in the corner, back to Allen, high on the left side. Lob pass to Brady Perez, leans up, puts it in for 2. The lob down to Brady Perez. I think he'd have dunked it if it had been just a plus higher. That's the same difference.
Yeah.
Rochester by 9 at 52-43, 3:14 to play. Pass is stolen by Allen. Nick Allen, left side of the floor, stops, leader, short. Rebound at Southwood. Baseball pass to a wide open Simons. Simons on the baseline for Southwood. Goes to the basket. Leaner over on a field is good. 52-45.
The first field goal for
Southwood
in this quarter.
Perez, Leaner, good, and a foul. .247 to play in the game. Zebras with an opportunity to push this back to a 10-point lead with this free throw coming from Brady Perez.
Weiner picks up his 3rd. Southwood with just 3 points in this 4th quarter, 13.5.
Brady Perez at the line for 1. The senior eyes the free throw, lets her fly, and it's good, and we're up by 10 at 55-45.
Perez now with 15.
Matches the biggest lead of the game for the Zebras. 2:40 to play in the game. Rich behind the arc. Down low to Barney. Leaner on the way is good, and a foul. Bonifield's going to pick up the foul, and Barney will go to the line to shoot 1 for the Knights.
That's the first bucket for Barney.
Yeah, that's exactly what we do not want to happen.
Onnefeld's 2nd.
That got to Barney so quick, I think Alex is taken off guard a little bit. Barney with 1. It's good. 55-47. Rochester with the basketball against a full-court press. Stasiak lobs it into Perez. Ball loose, picked up by the Knights. Turnover Rochester. And then that pass is picked off by Onnefield. He gives to Quinn. 2.5 to play in the game. Quinn brings it up the floor, bounce pass ahead to Allen, and he's going to be, hugged. Tried to lob it again to Brady Perez, but on the lob he was fouled. I think Nick Allen was. He'll go to the line to shoot 1 of the bonus. Barney literally hugged Nick Allen, no call.
Yeah, well, he picked up the foul. Barney did on the pass. So, yeah, Nick Allen will go to the free throw line.
Rochester will use a timeout. It will be a 60. You're listening to Zebra Basketball, 92.1 WROI and RTC TV4.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors.
Brocky Insurance offers personalized coverage options for all of your insurance needs. You can trust your policy through Erie Insurance has been customized specifically for you, your assets, and your budget. Online at brockyinsurance.com. Stay connected with the fastest internet speeds available with RTC Fiber Communications. Voice, data, and video connectivity for the 21st century. Local service, local support, local investment. Online at rtc1.com.
Please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production. This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors.
Enyard's True Value and Rental is your local one-stop shop for all of your home improvement and party rental needs. Let our friendly and knowledgeable staff help you with your next project or event. Start right. Start here. Stay connected with the fastest internet speeds available with RTC Fiber Communications. Voice, data, and video connectivity for the 21st century. Local service, local support.
Second one for Allen is good again. 57-48. 9-point lead for the Zebras, 2:20 to play in the game. Again, if you're just joining us, Dallas Holmes, our best shooter, out of the game tonight. But Carson Rich is still in, and he rises up in the lane and misses a shot. Offensive putback by Weiner's no good. Reinhardt picks up another foul. That's going to send Weiner, the senior, to the line to shoot 2 for the Knights.
They're going to get Reinhardt on the foul. That's his fourth.
Kyle Reinhardt is approaching a double-double tonight.
Yeah, he's got 8 points, 10 boards.
Weiner at the line for 2 for the Knights. Rochester by 9, 2:10 to play in the basketball game. First one is good. We'll have one more. Brad Thomas, I'm David Musselman. JV wins tonight. They beat Southwood 50-44. Quinn Stasiak with 16. Blake Hughes with 10 for the Zebras. Weiner with one more for the Knights. Looking to cut this lead to 7, and he does so. 57-50. Rochester with the lead in the basketball against the press. Allen ahead. Now back to Stasiak. Quinn yet to cross the timeline, does to Reinhardt. Way down low to Onafield. Fakes, rises up, shot good. Back to a 9-point lead. Under 2 to play in the game. Coach Malco fired up. Looking for some energy here in the last 100 seconds. Rich's shot no good, and the rebound to Reinhardt again. Kyle over the top to Brady Perez, who grabs it on the short hop. Brady against Lloyd, brings it ahead, gives it to Reinhardt, ball loose on the floor, still loose, now to Allen. Nick Allen, left-handed layup, no good. Put back by Stasiak, no good. Onafield, foul a shot, he'll go to the line to shoot 2. Rochester, 3 opportunities there. And Onafield foul on the third one. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. Looking to push this lead back to double digits with 90 seconds to play in the game.
Barney picks up his 4th.
Alex Onafield to the line for 2. Senior fires the first one. It's good. And it's 60-50 Rochester.
Onafield with 13 points in the game. Most of them from the free throw line. He's had a good night from the line.
Onafield with one more. Alex is second. Good again. Rochester, biggest lead of the night right now, the 11 at 61-50 with 90 seconds to play in the basketball game. Both teams 2 timeouts. Rochester with a possession arrow. Brad Thomas, I'm David Musselman. Rich.
Uh-oh.
Yep, gets it across the timeline to Simons. Back to Rich. Left elbow, step back behind the arc, over the top to Simons, 1:20. At the free throw line, throws up a tough shot, no good. Offensive rebound to Southwood. Lloyd, left wing 3, nope. Onafield, make that Brady Perez with the rebound, he rips and runs, hands off to Quinn Stasiak. Quinn gets away with the travel and a double dribble, now outside Perez. In the corner to Quinn, a minute to play. Rochester by 11.
They're going to try and play keep away.
Allen at the timeline, grabs the pass. Out to Reinhardt.
Ooh.
Almost throws it to us. Now Brady Perez to Stasiak.
Oh, hey, Rich is going to pick up his second foul on the reach-in.
Tippecanoe Valley defeats Wabash tonight, 54-46.
Wow. That's a big deal.
Valley went on a 23-7 run in the fourth quarter. Thank you, Val. Southwood will take a timeout with 44 seconds to play in the game. Zebras are up by 11. It's a 60. We'll take a 30. You're listening to Zebra Basketball, 92.1 WROI and RTC TV4.
Got that new home edition and you're keeping it covered.
Ooh, coverages now. I can help with this. Got zone coverage, man coverage, combo coverages.
I don't know, Peyton. I think more like the coverage your nationwide agent offers.
Oh, you want to go there? Home, auto, life, business, farm, boat, RV, ATV, camper, pet, motorcycle, your tour bus. Did I mention farm?
Contact Jennings Insurance Agency today or visit one of our offices in Argus and Rochester. This broadcast brought to you in part by these local sponsors. Enjoy the game with an ice-cold Coke. Locally owned and operated since 1907, Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Kokomo proudly supports 28 high schools in north central Indiana. Our starting lineup of brands are sure to keep you hydrated on the sidelines and at home. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Kokomo. RTC TV4 thanks you for watching tonight's broadcast. Sponsorship and advertising opportunities are available and free production is included.
Game. Nick ready. Shoots the first one, no good. The rebound to Simons for Southwood, now to Lloyd. Hands off to Rich, crosses the timeline with 39. Rich drives left at 37. Step back three, left wing, nope. Rebound by Southwood. Weiner's put back, no good. Onafield another big board. And he's going to be fouled by the Knights with 29.6 to play in the game. We'll walk to the other end and shoot two.
That foul's on Lloyd, his third.
Number 3, Lloyd, his third. That sends the Zebras into the double bonus. At the line,
29.6 to play in the game. Rochester up 61-50.
Onafield with 14 in the game. He's 8 of 9 from the line. And 12.
Man, he's got a double-double,
boards.
doesn't he?
Yep.
Alex's first one's no good. He'll have one more. Rochester up by 11 with 29.6 to play in the game. Onafield with one more for the Zebras, looking to push this lead to 12. Senior with a second one, good this time. Biggest lead of the night for Rochester at 12 points. Full court press by the Zebras. Perry gets away with the travel, picks up his dribble. Now to Simons across the timeline right. Simons goes to the basket hard, throws up a shot, and Onafield fell awkwardly on that right knee.
Took a shot in the upper thigh, I don't know.
He gets up. And Yarber will come in for him with 23 seconds to play.
That's the third on Onafield.
So Onafield probably is done for the night. A fantastic game, a double-double. And Simons in the line to shoot two for Southwood. I'm sorry, shoot one in the bonus. One in the bonus. Jackson Simons, free throw. Good. 62-51. Rochester with the lead, 23 seconds to play in the game. Simons' second one. Good again. 10-point lead now for the Zebras. Full court press by the Knights. Brady Perez gets the inbounds pass. The ball's loose on the floor. Goes out of bounds. Rochester will keep possession. Last touch by the Knights with 20 seconds. Brady Perez now will look to get it in right in front of the Rochester student section. Brady to Allen, found immediately by Lloyd, 19 seconds to play. So Nick Allen will walk to the other end, will shoot the double bonus. Rochester by 10.
Lloyd picks up his fourth.
Southwood foul number 3, Lloyd, his fourth. At the line, shooting two for Rochester.
And Coach Burris will empty his bench.
Yep, Allen's got 12 in the basketball game.
Where's Brady?
Perez has got 15.
Just 3 doubles?
Yeah, right now.
I like it. Allen's first one is good. Sneaks across the front of the rim and goes down.
Returning to the Southwood lineup, number 12, Perry.
One more coming for Allen. Look to push this back to a 12-point lead as Coach Burris empties his bench.
As well as number 22, Logan Barley.
Hey, Val, when's the last Thank you, Val. I just asked Val, and the last time Rochester beat Southwood, it was 2013. Been a couple days, hasn't it? Second one, no good. Rebound to Simons.
Well, we had to wait for Carson Blair to graduate.
And Nose.
And Nose and Trexler.
Simons shot no good. And Yarber is going to be whistled for over the back. And Carson Rich will walk to the free throw line to shoot two. 63-52 Rochester, 10 seconds to play in the game.
Saber foul number 40, Yarber, his first. That sends Southwood into the double bonus. At the line, number 14, Rich.
Our national broadcast will be Friday night as we'll travel to Wabash to play the Apaches, who just got beat tonight on the road, 54-46 at Valley. Rich with one more, a sophomore. Where's he at, 22?
22, 23.
63-54, full-court press by the Knights. Stasiak gets it into Allen, 8 seconds. And then Nick Allen is fouled by the Knights, and he'll walk to the other end to shoot free throws.
Knights foul number 32, Phillip, his first. At the line, shooting two.
Nick Allen at the line.
Allen.
And Coach Malco will empty the bench.
Nick with two. First one, good. Brady Perez is finished. Quinn Stasiak, Kyle Reinhardt, Eli Yarber is done. Trey Stasiak, Nathan Jacobs comes in, Isaiah Jackson, and Grant McCarter for the Rochester Zebras. Rochester going to get a big win tonight here at home against a really good Southwood team who just beat Northwestern last weekend by 1. Second one is no good, and the rebound to Simons with 5. With 4, with 3, with 2, with 1. Simons, 3 at the buzzer, is good. The final tonight, Rochester defeats Southwood 64-57. Post-game show next, 92.1 WROI.
Smith Farm Stores has everything you need for your home and your farm, both inside and out. We are your local Steel, Skag, and Simplicity dealer, offering a full service center with a certified technician on site. Smith Farm Stores offers a wide variety of household appliances, including top brand refrigerators, washing machines, and dryers. We are also a full-service paint center, offering on-site color matching and more. Stop by today or check us out online. Smith Farm Stores, everything you need and more.
This is old you. And this is now you. Things change. Your insurance should too. Talk to an Indiana Farm Bureau insurance agent, and now you can stop knocking on wood.
I don't think of this as a high school weight room. It's more like a high school classroom. I'm learning how to manage my time here. I'm learning that it's important to have goals and that it takes persistence and commitment to reach them. And I'm learning that the best way to lead is by example.
Indiana High School Sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors. Evans Agency in Rochester, offering farm liability, farm personal property, and farm outbuilding policies, all customized to fit your insurance needs. Let Judy help you protect all of your possessions. Online at evansagencyrochester.com. First Federal Savings Bank is your local mortgage lender with 6 locations throughout North Central Indiana. Trust the professionals at First Federal Savings Bank. Online at firstfederalbanking.com. Please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production. This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors. The lawyers and staff at Peterson, Wagoner & Perkins LLP are here to provide the highest quality legal and professional service to their clients presently and for the future. See a full list of services online at peterson-wagoner.com. Woodlawn Hospital, offering state-of-the-art care for Fulton County for over 100 years. Woodlawn Hospital is the area's healthcare leader. Comprehensive care from head to toe. Online at woodlawnhospital.com. Please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production.
Ever wonder why your local TV bill keeps going up? The bulk of these increases are due to rising network fees. A few powerful media companies dictate what TV providers must pay to offer their channels to you. And every time networks demand more money, that affects what you pay every month. If TV providers don't meet their demands, networks threaten blackouts. Since 1999, these network fees have increased by 3.5 times the rate of inflation. To see what we're doing to keep network fees in check, visit tvonmyside.com.
First Federal Savings Bank has provided mortgage loans for over 50 years.
We're now offering commercial loans to support our local businesses.
We offer business loans for real estate, equipment, lines of credit, and investments. We also offer Simply Free business checking for all your banking needs.
Contact Lindy Breeden, our business lending expert, to take the worry out of your business banking.
And remember, we don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best bank.
There's been a lot of talk lately about net neutrality. At RTC, our customers receive the full and open internet and nothing less. We are not the gatekeeper, toll operator, or curator. A free and open internet has been the single biggest driver of innovation over the last generation, and we want that engine of innovation to live on in our customers. If you ever have a question about your internet service, give RTC a call. We are here for you. RTC cable subscribers. Now you can watch your favorite cable networks wherever you are, on your phone, tablet, or computer. Just log on to www.watchTVEverywhere.com. Enter your RTC account information and sign up to watch TV everywhere. Live sports, videos on demand, and more, all for free with your RTC cable subscription. Watch TV Everywhere, another great service from RTC.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors.
Brocky Insurance offers personalized coverage options for all of your insurance needs. You can trust your policy through Erie Insurance has been customized specifically for you, your assets, and your budget. Online at brockyinsurance.com. Stay connected with the fastest internet speeds available with RTC Fiber Communications. Voice, data, and video connectivity for the 21st century. Local service, local support, local investment. Online at rtc1.com.
Please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production.
Back at Rochester High School, the final tonight, the Zebras hold on to beat the Southwood Knights 64-57, and Zebra head coach Rob Malco joins us. And Rob, I don't get to watch and listen to a lot of games because we're doing this. I need to commend you on what I heard the last time we played at Northfield, home with North White, and then I heard a little bit tonight. The energy level from you on the bench is second to none. That I'm impressed with how much energy you bring to this to encourage the kids. I enjoyed listening and watching you when I wasn't doing radio those two games.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that. I'm not the smartest dude. That's the one thing I can bring is some energy, you know. So I know that we're going to get out coached for every game. So I gotta coach harder and bring energy in order to overcome some of those things. But I've always felt that, you know, the players kind of feed off of your emotion. You know, I've tried to sit
like some guys do, and their teams go out. Jack Edison used to sit and just like cross his legs, and his guys are flying all over the place. I do that, and my guys sit too. So, it's just one of those things where that's the way we practice, and that's something that we wanted to bring in, last season. And again, is that once we get past about Christmas, we shorten our practices to about an hour and a half, but we make sure that hour and a half is intense.
Yeah.
That we're communicating, we're getting after it, we're rotating, we're pushing them off the floor, we're taking charges, we're diving on the floor. And if you don't, we're going to run, and if not run, I'm pulling them together, we're talking about it, I'm challenging them. And then when we come into a game, we just want it to be the same thing we do. Because, you practice. We had 61 practices, and this is our 16th game.
Yeah.
So I feel like you got to practice the way you're going to play.
Sure, absolutely.
And because you do that a lot more than what you play. So, and I think that there's some carryover with that, especially on a Tuesday night. And I can't explain. Yeah. Tuesday night and Saturday nights are so tough for guys. Girls, it's just a weird night. It's a school night. We got to go to school tomorrow. And, Friday, it's like you come to school on Friday, it's like, hey, we got the weekend. Yeah, people, sure. They're stepping a little lighter, it's Popcorn Friday, and everybody's, enjoying the day. And you come into a game, and it's a celebration.
Sure.
But this is where you got to pick up your lunch pail and, stamp your ticket and go to work. And I thought they did.
Oh, boy.
Did a good job.
We have so many things to talk about. And you led me to the next question when you're talking about taking charges in practice and doing all that in practice. You got 2 tonight, probably should have gotten 3 tonight.
Oh, I tell you, Yarber really, his may have been the easiest one to call. And then the next one down the floor, they call ticky-tack. And that's what I'm like, really? I mean, you don't call that charge and you call that. And even Coach Bruce looks down at me and nods like,
yeah,
I agree with you, man. Even I saw that. I'm from Southwood, so. But, we caught some breaks tonight. And when you're at home and you get a break, you got to capitalize. Dallas Holmes got in foul trouble.
Yep.
He got the technical foul at a bad time. And then in halftime, I just talked to the guys. I said, listen, when he comes back in the game, and this is such a catch-22 for me, because sometimes you'll say, go at that guy. And you'll make bad decisions trying to foul a guy out. So I said, when he's guarding you, if it's there, attack him. See if we can't get him fouled out. But I said, but at the same time, come to a jump stop, because if he doesn't take the bait, you got to either finish or kick out to a shooter. Yeah. Don't make that your sole purpose, trying to get him to draw a foul. I thought we did a pretty good job. We attacked him, and at times when he was smart, we were smart, and we ended up getting that foul call. But just a sloppy game, and this game, the way they defend is hard because they extend it the whole game. You're constantly got pressure. You got to always make a great decision. And I just felt that we made enough plays to get a big enough lead at times to then make the right decision when it counted.
Tell me about your talk between the end of the third quarter going into the fourth quarter. Awful. I mean, 10 turnovers in that third quarter. Scoreboard didn't show it so much, but what was the message? And I whatever the message was, they kept fighting for you through the fourth.
I said, we're down 1. We got 8 minutes to go. We're at home. I said, this is a game. And then I went back to, who are we?
Yeah.
Who are we? And I said, if we're going to be trouble for people as we finish this season, it's time to step up.
Yeah.
And they did, man. They really did. And, I felt like, I also told them this, and this is a conversation we had yesterday. I said, I trust you. I said, just go make plays. And, I know you're going to make some mistakes, but I trust you.
beasts on the board tonight.
They really were. They competed all night on the boards, and I thought Yarber gave us some big minutes, and the guys are waving. It's always good to see them when they're happy.
That always helps, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's funny, when we lose, they don't do that, do they? No,
well,
they're thinking.
I see them waving at you.
They're thinking, what's practice going to be like? Oh, dear God. But they I thought Yarbs came in and gave us really good minutes there in the third quarter and played most of the third quarter for us and gave Alex a good long rest. And Alex went in the fourth quarter, I thought, had good energy.
Yeah. I thought you guys played really well tonight, and if this doesn't springboard you to Friday and doesn't springboard you to the end of the season to get you ready for a sectional, I'm not sure what will.
Well, 3 in a row now. We had that tough slide there where we had a couple we got let get away at Valley and Manchester, and maybe we can, out of these last 5, if we could get 3 or 4 out of 5 or all 5, then, like you said, going into the sectional. But we got some tough teams coming in. We got to go on the road to Wabash. It's going to be difficult. So, it's just one of those things where you take one game at a time, and Wabash is next, and they're really, really good. They're at Valley tonight. I'm interested to see how that comes out because going to Valley is always tough.
You didn't hear? Valley got them by 6.
Did they?
Val said that Valley went on a 23-7 run to end that one.
I'll tell you what, I don't it's amazing. When you go to Valley, you pick your sport.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is a tough place to play.
You're right.
And that's something. So that's something we got to look at it 2 ways. We can feed off that. And thanks to Valley, they just made them mad.
Oh, absolutely. I was just getting ready to say that. Yep, absolutely. Hey, congratulations on the win. We'll talk to you Friday night.
All right, thank you.
Zebra head coach Rob Malco here on the postgame show on WROI and RTC TV4. And again, Rochester runs their mark to 8-8, even in the TRC. And again, they win tonight in the varsity contest 64-57. The JV team wins tonight too, 50-44. Quinn Stasiak with 16 and Blake Hughes with 10. You done?
Yep.
I'm finished.
All righty.
Jeremy, Kelly, RTC4, thank you. Paul, thank you for your time back at the radio station. For Brad Thomas, I'm David Musselman. We'll talk to you Friday night. See you.
Bye.